What it do? It's your man Malik Abdul Saber Jr. coming back to you with another video on the Black Haven Comics channel. And today I'm here to talk about how I got into comics. You know, I briefly touched on this in multiple previous videos, you know, about X-Men and whatnot, but I want to dedicate this full video to how I got into comics. DC Comics, Image Comics, Marvel Comics, Dark Horse Comics, it doesn't matter. This is about how I got into comics itself. Now, I've always been an avid reader ever since elementary school, you know, whether it was just before I even started reading comics, you know, mainly like poetry books because they were short verse, or even back as a youngin', you know, reading like the Magic Treehouse here. Because why Lightning Striker is from Hawaii is because Magic Treehouse high-tided in Hawaii when I read that, you know, in 3rd grade. So I was always an avid reader starting from kindergarten, just reading those the picture books, even some early Walter D. Myers I was reading as a young kid. So reading has always been my forte. That must be why I majored in English with a creative writing concentration. You know? But basically, I started reading comics in 2nd grade, right when I changed schools, same school district, but just changed different elementary schools. 2nd grade was just it was a different time for, you know, when you move, obviously everything's gonna be a different time. But as far as comics, you know, when you're in elementary school, I don't know, you know, I'm raised in, you know, New York State, but I don't know how everybody else is raised and how the elementary school system worked. But 5 days a week, we had gym twice a week. We had, they're called specials. So our special was twice a week. We had gym outside of our classes, and then we had art class, music class, and then library. You know, obviously, you know, we'll go, you know, music class, you know, music, you know what that goes through. But during the library class, I always found myself, you know, reading like the sports books, you know, whether they were, you know, the sports books like mine. This is elementary school, so some books that, you know, no more than like a 5th or 6th grader can read. But I'd read the NBA books, the WWE books, the NFL books, you know, mainly like about telling, you know, little docu-stories about people's life. That's how I found out about, like, you know, I've always watched football. That's how I found out more in depth about Tiki and Rondé Barber, because they had a little childhood series books that I used to read all the time. But during the like the comic section and like the graphic novel section, when you mind you, during this time I was big on movies. So 2nd grade, I was all that 3 of the X-Men movies already came out. You know, X-Men, X2, you know, X-Men: The Last Stand. They had already come out by that time. So when I was in 2nd grade, this was 2007, 2008. You know, so I walked into the library aisle, and then I saw, you know, comics, and this comic was like an encyclopedia of showing like all the characters, where they first originated, like just strictly X-Men characters, not Marvel, just strictly X-Men characters, about you know, they like an encyclopedia when they first started their debut with the X-Men, pictures of them, their alliances and their enemies and stuff. And my first favorite X-Men was Nightcrawler, you know. I think his name was Kurt Wagner, you know. German is Wagner, is Wagner, so Kurt Wagner. And I still say Nightcrawler needs his own movie or his own episode in like X-Men 97 or X-Men animated. Like Nightcrawler needs his own, you know, like series, you know, German circus boy who had the skin, you know, indigo skin, like, and that's where indigo became one of my favorite colors. Not top 2, obviously, you know, that's sky blue, hot pink, but indigo became one of my favorite colors because that's the color of his skin. But reading up on Wolverine, where he's from, Logan, reading up on Cyclops, you know, Jean Grey, where, you know, right before this, before I wasn't dealing with material like the Dark Phoenix saga when I was in 2nd grade. I wasn't reading that yet, and this is way before DC's New 52, that I think that came out like 2011, 2012. This is 2007, 2008 at the time. But my comics, like me getting into comics, started with X-Men. You know, X-Men, that's why I'm always first to pick up a new X-Men comic. Now it's Spider-Man, because now most of the Spider-Man stuff is getting good. And I will throw in the last couple issues of Captain America. Yeah, but back to X-Men. X-Men started my comic, you know, me just getting into comics, me liking graphic novels, you know, other than, you know, me being a kid and liking picture books, like strictly superheroes and comics. Started with the X-Men, and then it slowly drifted. And you know, it's crazy, I was thinking about doing a manga video, but you know, I watch superhero TV shows, I watch comics, I'm big on anime, but manga itself, like, I've only, out of the 3 dozen like mangas that I read, like series that I read, and that might come, for me that's not a lot, because I read so many comics, so many just regular books, but like I'm not into, like, you know, manga like that. You know, I got into a Comic Guy Kill because I wanted, everybody said that if you thought that the show of Comic Guy Kill was a 10 out of 10, you read the manga and the manga gonna be a 10 out of 10, and then the show's gonna be a 4 out of 10. Show's an 8 out of 10, you know. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. But you know, a comic got killed. Obviously, I read Naruto. Obviously, I read Dragon Ball Z. You know, what else did I read? I don't think I read One Piece, but I did read Tokyo Ghoul and Bleach. But manga is just a side topic because it's gonna be like less than 45 seconds. It doesn't need its own video. How I got into manga was just me going to Barnes and Noble, and you know, if people don't know what Barnes and Noble is, who's watching this, just a nice bookstore library. Like, it's amazing. But went to Barnes and Noble, didn't have a comic that I wanted one day, so I just picked up Naruto. Naruto was my first manga that I ever read, but the first manga like series that I liked consistently was A Comic Got Killed and then Bleach. But now it's just I want to get more into manga, but I'm still, comics is like my comic knowledge is up here. And then I guess what got me into like DC Comics was the New 52. You know, right there, I think this is right before Rebirth of 2016. But you know, New 52 started in like 2011, 2012, and that's when that event of Flash DC we started with the New 52, which is going to reset everything and make the continuity more modern time. Because you know, all these superheroes from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, you gotta keep up with the modern times so people can understand. So that's when I got more into DC Comics. So you could say my Marvel comics started with X-Men, and comics in general started with X-Men. But DC Comics started with New 52, and then that's kind of where the Teen Titans became much more my favorite. You know, you had Red Hood and the Outlaws. You know, Dick Grayson was already this new version of Nightwing. So that's basically where my comic journey started. You know, just reading the X-Men, being in second grade, and everything that pertains to that, of me just loving the superheroes and the way I grew. But yeah, that's just how I got into comics. This is a quick video of me just wanting to explain to everybody how I got into comics, how I got into, you know, just writing stories. You know, I'll probably make another video about how this guy just started writing stories, because before I made comics, like my first 2 books were actual books, you know, novels. They weren't, you know, anything related to superheroes. They were just novels. But you know, that's another video for another time, another place. As I stated before, my name is Malik Abdul Saber Jr., owner and sole creator of Black Haven Comics. The social media is in the description below. We only have one social media site on all social media platforms: one Facebook, one Instagram, one Twitter. Black Haven Comics. The website too, blackhavencomics.com. More issues, more content, more Core 4, Nitro, Lightning Striker. I can't wait. Everybody have a blessed day. Black Haven Comics.